Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm back. That's right, I'm back. It's our BrickWall Mystery Month. And right now, I'm going to be talking about the movie Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. Right. It's part of our BrickWall Mystery Month, like I already said. Before I get into it, I want to remind you guys, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. You're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and catch us next weekend at the time of this recording, June 6th at 4 p.m. We will be at the Capital City Anime Convention in Trenton, New Jersey, doing a live panel. We'll also be streaming it here online. We'll be doing a live panel. We're going to be talking anime. We're going to be doing a review of the Chainsaw Man movie. And we are going to probably do a couple other things, a couple surprises. And we'll be out there all day long. So we'll be dropping content and all different types of stuff. It's going to be a fun time. If you've been wondering where I've been, that's where I've been just preparing for this event. But I couldn't leave you guys hanging without reviews for the month. So let me go ahead and hit you guys with something dope. And this is a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a long time and review for a long time. It stars Simon Pegg, Minnie Driver, Christopher Lloyd, and Neil Gaiman are the main stars of this movie. A few other cast members as well. You also have Tim Downey, Edmund Kingsley, Ruth Connell, Jessica Balmer, Paul Kaye, Gary Beadle, and Drew Moerlin, however you're supposed to pronounce that. My bad, I know I'm horrible with names. So this movie follows a, I guess you could call him a paranormal detective. It's based on the legend of Jeff, the Talking Mongoose, which was a real life story that was given extensive coverage by the tabloid press in Britain in the early 1930s. He's a parapsychologist, Nandor Fodor, who is a real person. He's a real person. I found this out just a few minutes ago that he was actually a real person. And he investigates different paranormal things like ghosts and stuff like that. But he's actually one of the things that I learned through this movie. And looking in hindsight, is that they're always very skeptical. Why are they skeptical? Because it's the system of, yes, you say that this ghost exists, you say that this talking mongoose exists, but where's the proof, right? Where's the proof? I'm willing to believe what you're telling me, but I also need the hardcore evidence so that I can back you up, so I can tell other people about this, so that people can actually believe that this is real. So there's a family on this island, and I forgot where it's at. I believe it's in Ireland or something like that. But he goes there because it's this long-standing case of Jeff, the talking mongoose. And this family has heard him talk. They have the legend. They tell the stories, but no one else has really ever seen Jeff. They haven't even really seen Jeff. So he has a partner played by, well, not really a partner, but an associate played by Christopher Lloyd, who's telling him the story and everything like that. And so he goes and he takes his assistant played by Minnie Driver. They go out to the island to do some investigating and see if they can find or get some proof of Jeff's existence. This movie was released back in, this movie was released back in 2023 on September 1st. And yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It got mixed reviews and all that, but we'll get into that later. Off bat, one of the things that I thought about, because I tried to watch this movie mad times, I fell asleep. It's not a boring movie. I always pick the worst time to watch this. But having watched it, I would say that this movie, it is definitely something that makes you kind of think, right? It makes you think about, and one of the biggest questions that I got from there is the concept of existence, right? And you can tie this into anything. You can tie this into religious beliefs. You can tie this into spiritual beliefs. You can tie this into, again, the paranormal beliefs. And so what it is that Nandor, he's somebody, I'm not going to say a realist, but again, when you're doing paranormal investigations and stuff like that, you don't just want to go blindly off of what somebody says. Like if somebody tells me, if I'm a paranormal investigator or hold on, let me get the right term for this, because I keep saying that and that's not doing it justice. If I am a parapsychologist, which by definition is, parapsychology is the study of alleged psychic phenomena. See, you come here to learn. You come for the reviews, stay for the education. Subscribe. But the study of alleged psychic phenomena, which includes extrasensory extrasensory perception, telepathy, psychokinesis, precognition, clairvoyance, teleportation, things like that. In psychometry. Listen, I'm learning just like you. Um, and other paranormal claims, for example, those related to near-death experiences, synchronic. That word about to beat my ass and drag me through the streets. Synchronicity. Ooh, beat my ass and had the Bible of God watching, or in this case, of Merriam-Webster's watching. Apparitional experiences, etc. So, in relation to this movie, let me break it down. In relation to the movie, again, one of the big things is that, and one of the big points that the family uses to prove that Jeff is real, or in their belief that Jeff is real, is that Jeff would say things to these people that, okay, so it was an example in the movie that they had where it was this couple that was together, and the one half of the couple had died. I think the husband died. I believe it was the husband that died. And before he died, he said something to the wife that only she would know, only he would tell her, and only she would hear. Nobody else was told what he said to her. That was the last thing he said to her. So a couple years later or so, she gets months or years or something, she gets a call, and those words are said back to her. No, not a call, or somebody says something to her. She's approached by somebody, she gets a call, and the last words that he said to her are repeated to her. Mind you, nobody else knows what was said. No, he didn't tell anybody. Those things were not disclosed to anybody else. She was the only one who ever heard those words. When those words were repeated back to her, that's when she was believing that, okay, there's a way to connect to the afterlife. And that's one of the things that that the family who knows Jeff, they kind of hinge to. It's like, oh, he's going to tell you something. If you want the proof, he'll tell you something that only you would know. Coming from somebody who passed or somebody that you held dear. And as the movie goes on, you see that that's one of the things, because Nandor, and rightfully so, is very, very skeptical of a talking mongoose, because animals don't talk. And if this animal does talk, why haven't we seen him? Why does he hide? Why is he so reclusive? And there are so many different clues in the movie that kind of point to the fact that Jeff could be fake. There's a lot of evidence that points to the family just playing a lot of games. And the movie doesn't shy away from that. It doesn't try to say, oh, but could there be real? Could it be true? It does a little bit of that, but it does more in the case of, hey, this mongoose might not be real. But I think that the point that the movie tries to get across is that whether or not you believe in something, it's more so about what can you be remembered for. Because the ending of this movie, in the last the last about 15, 20 minutes of the movie, you kind of get presented with this question. Okay, what if there's nothing before or after? What if this, the life that we have now, right? Our existence here as it is, what if this is it, right? Our lives are then going to be determined or remembered by what we make of it now, right? It's not, we don't just once we're gone, right? And all we have left of us, all that will exist of us then, are the legends, the tales, the stories, the writings, the everything that we leave behind, anything that we leave behind memory-wise is all that's going to be around. So it then goes back to the question, well, what if that was why the family did it? So that they can be remembered for something. It's never really clearly stated whether or not Jeff exists. And like I said, there's a lot that goes into that. And that's what makes it very interesting, the mystery of if Jeff exists, right? It's not really too much more to say without really giving a lot of spoilers around, but part of the reason I enjoyed this movie is because I like the approach that they took, right? It wasn't just a blind walking into, they gave evidence on both sides, here's the evidence here, here's the evidence there, here's the evidence here, here's the evidence there. And it's very, very interesting. As you watch the movie, if you choose to watch it, it's available on Prime and Tubi. If you do decide to watch it, I believe that you will have the same experience I had, which is just okay, I'm starting to side more with Nandor, because Nandor has the logic, has the experience, and even the people that came before him to find, and the people that came after him to find this talking mongoose, they all had the same experience. We can't get anything, right? But the family that knows Jeff and that has more dealings with Jeff, right? They have more of that deeper understanding, and they are practically the only ones who can prove that Jeff is real. This movie is definitely, like I said, it's very thought provoking, and like you can tell the way I'm talking about it, it's very thought provoking. And one of the deep things, and one of the things that really pushed me to get this review out today was that it posed a question with me. And if you watch this movie, or if you do watch this movie after this review, let me know in the comments. It's like this can be equated to faith, right? Just any, like I said earlier, any spiritual, religious, any type of belief like that. Like there's a point where Nandor's in jail. I'm not going to explain that. He's in jail. And he's asking, like, Jeff, he's like, yo, just anything, any sign, just show me, like, what happens next when I go back and I'll write these articles and I'll write the story about how I came out here and everything like that. What happens, what I decide to write is based solely on this moment. Can you prove to me somehow, somewhere that you are real? And in that moment, I thought, as a person of faith myself, I thought, like, man, that's almost like when we as believers in God and Jesus and stuff like that. And I say we, I'm talking about myself, and other like-minded people. It's like there's always a point where it's just like, okay, but what's your proof, right? Like, how can you prove that this entity is real? How can you prove that an afterlife exists? How can you prove that it wasn't just coincidence or sheer luck or sheer willpower that got you where you needed to be and gave you the things that you needed to have, and the strength and endurance and the blessings or whatever, right? So it's very interesting from that standpoint. I really enjoyed it from that, but just the sheer mystery alone. And Jeff himself he doesn't get like a lot of speaking lines in this, but the lines he does speak, again, there's evidence in the movie itself that says, like, okay, y'all might be bullshitting. But there's also evidence in the movie that says they may not be bullshitting. So it's very interesting. This movie, it's not a long movie at all. It's like 96 minutes long or something like that, which is a little over an hour and a half. It's considered somewhat of a comedy. There are some comedic parts, but it's not straight up a comedy. It's definitely more of a mystery. Hence why it's being reviewed in BrickWall Mystery Month. Critically, this movie, like I said, it's not too much to say about this film. Outside of, hey, check it out and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And it's not a very thought-provoking film, but it's a very interesting watch. I will say that. I did expect more talking Mongoose. I'm not going to hold you, but and you don't really. I'm not going to say whether or not you see the Mongoose, but by the end of this movie, your opinion may be swayed one way or the other. This sits mixed reviews from critics. Has a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 59% on Fandango, 5 on Common Sense Media. I don't really have Rotten Tomatoes. Y'all know I usually use that, but it's all right. Don't need it. This was a very low-key release. I think it was in theaters for a very short amount of time. Like I said, it's available now to stream on Amazon Prime as well as Tubi. So make sure you check it out there. But my rating for this film, having watched it and having thought of the philosophical meanings of the movie, and then finding out that this is based on a real person and a real case as well. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Actually, I didn't even know it was based on a real case until I was just looking it up right now to give you guys proper information. So that's crazy. But having taken all that into effect, before and after, I would give this film a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was entertaining. I do like watching Simon Pegg. He did a very good job in this movie. The cast was great. The mystery of the Mongoose was pretty good. At times a bit drawn out, but it was still good. It was a good watch. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I don't even think I disliked anything about this film. Except for, like I said, I thought there'd be more talking Mongoose. I thought there'd be more Mongoose in this movie, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Pretty cut and dry, pretty cut and straightforward review. So that's it. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you watch this movie, or if after you watch this movie you come back to this review, let me know what you think. Remember, we will be at the Capital City Anime Convention in Trenton, New Jersey on June 6th. All right, June 6th, 4 o'clock, we'll be doing our panel, but we'll be out there all day long. So if you see us out there, holla at us in the streets. Holla at us in the streets. I messed up the whole line. It's holla at us if you see us in the streets. All right, there we go. It's a Lupe line. Y'all know nothing about that. Yeah, that's it, y'all. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, y'all, be easy, stay breezy. Peace.